How you doing there, buddy? First, I'm Lance with Troops of Truckers, and I'm taking videos here once in a while. We call it Trucker Chat, and the idea is to find out right from the mouth of a trucker, especially you. You're a vet, so you're a Marine, right?
Yes.
Rah. And what's your name?
Ike.
Ike. So, Ike, how long have you been driving a truck?
Well, this time around 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah.
Why do you say this time?
Well, I had worked as a driver before for 4 years and got out of it for 6.5 and came back.
Now, why'd you get out?
I found a better job as a real estate appraiser, and then when I got out of it for 6.5, the real estate industry fell apart, I went back to driving.
Okay. And so, well, number one, has driving been good to you?
In ways.
Okay, so tell me a little bit. Tell me first. Give me the bad first, then we'll go with the good. What's not been good about driving for you?
The bad thing is being gone a lot and not having a real schedule. It's sporadic. Weeks change. Depending on the company that you work for, what their schedule is, the routine, things of that nature. Whether you're home every day or home every other weekend or every weekend, it depends on what their load is. That will kind of depend on what your lifestyle is.
So when they're actually looking for their first job, that's probably one of the questions they want to ask, so they know up front.
Everybody has to start out doing the legwork, being the mule pretty much, of having to do a lot of things that they're really not accustomed to, getting their foot in the door, learning how the industry works, and sometimes you have to work for a company that pushes you a little harder than others. It takes a little time to find a company that you're happy with. The only thing that I will say is that if a person is going to go to a company and work for them, they need to at least stay there 6 months. Because if they don't, then they get the reputation of being a seat jumper, someone who is not really going to put forth the effort, doesn't really understand the industry, and doesn't understand. It's kind of like playing cards. One day you've got a good hand, the next day it's not so good. You've got to be flexible and you've got to be willing to work. A lot of people want a job, they just don't want to work. And when you work for companies that rely on you to be dependable,
right,
to show up on time, to deliver on time, that's what a customer's looking for. And if you can't do that, because of your own personal likes and dislikes, so this really is not the place for you.
Now, tell me what some of the advantages are. What have you liked about it? I mean,
money. The only real positive to this is money. You can make a good living out here for your family, to support those that rely on you. It's just, especially if you were in the military, you're used to being away for different periods of time or long periods of time sometimes. So you're a little more accustomed to it. People that have never experienced that really have a hard time being away from home. But if you can put those things together, apply yourself, learn the industry, learn how to do paperwork, how to deliver products, how to find yourself, how to find yourself is really hard for some people. And finding the customers, the places, with all the technology we have today, is really not that big of a problem. But being willing to work is the key. And being flexible. Sometimes you have to drive all night. Sometimes you have to drive all day. And learning how to use the system and make things work for you. But
what kind of impact has this had on your family life?
I have kids. I have grandkids, and I'm at a different stage now. Let's say a guy that's just starting out with a family and got little guys and things of that nature. Some companies provide really good health care. I'm retired out of the Marine Corps, so I rely on the military health care for me. So I don't have that kind of a burden, having money taken out of my account, things of that, or my paycheck. But for a guy that's just starting out, coming out of the military, it's a really good way to clear your head. You're thinking more about safety issues and the job at hand than probably a lot of personal issues and things of that nature.
Gotcha.
If you've got a good, strong family base, it'll work out fine. Some companies even let you take your wife or girlfriend with you on the road. no kids until you're about 6 years old or so.
Tell me a little bit about the difference between local driving and over the road.
Over the road driving, you can go to all 48 states. Local drivers generally 250 miles a day out of state, come back in, or you could be in state.
Difference in the money?
There's a little bit of a difference in the money. If you get on with an LTL company, however...
What does LTL mean?
Less than loaded. Those are short haul, around town kind of loads, like with company used to be Conway. They've gone out of business. Now XPO has taken over for them. But they do a lot of short haul around the city delivering freight that comes in. They work early morning, try and get past most of the traffic, getting that out of the way. But
you've chosen to do the over the road the whole time?
LTL is something you get into after you have experience. We'll say with my company, you have to have at least 1 year of experience driving before we'll even hire you or consider to hire you because of insurance, things of that nature. Different companies have different stipulations. Some companies will train you to work for them, but you have to give them probably a year of work in order for them to cover your training expenses and things of that nature. But an LTL situation, the less than loaded guys, they are probably 5-year drivers that have been out on the road for a while, and a lot of those companies won't even consider hiring you until you've got some experience under your belt.
So today is Christmas, and we're wrapping this video up, and I'm going to first tell you Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you.
And also thank you for your service. And any last words you want to say to your fellow vets before we close out?
Just stay tough. If you've got any issues you need to talk about, talk to somebody. Don't hold it all in or keep it to yourself. You're not out here by yourself. There's a lot of people that want to talk to you just to pass the time, if nothing else. But I wish everybody a Merry Christmas and enjoy your home time when you get there.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you.
Sure.